looks like Rewalt's going to play. St Kilda said he's highly likely to play. Does that give them a real emotional lift on Sunday?
Oh, it gives them a really good player. I know it gives them that. I mean, emotions aside, you'd like to think every player's up for the game, but he's obviously a terrific player and got a great record, so he's going to be a tough challenge for our playing group and our young defence.
Dan McStay is going to miss as well, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
How are you going to kick a winning score? You've got no tall forwards left.
Look, that's always a challenge for us, kicking a winning score, and it's a challenge for everyone every week. We're running out of talls. We don't have much coming back in that area, so whether we have to bring in another young key, or whether we just, Ryan Harwood looks ready to go, so whether we just slot him back and shuffle a few things around, that's sort of for the match committee to decide this afternoon.
Can you believe your poor luck in that part of the ground? I think 5 or 6 guys you might have had slated at the start of the year to have a go there all on the sideline.
Yeah, they are, and it's disappointing. I'm hoping my luck all builds up for the one time, Michael, and I can bottle it all up and use it one final series one time, because it is like that at times. You think the footy gods are against you, but it all turns around. It's just our turn at the moment.
Does Harris Andrews go forward now?
It's a possibility Harris goes forward. He's the most likely. I can't imagine Justin Clark kicking goals, but look, you never know. But yeah, he's probably the most likely.
What have you been working on this week, Coach, to fix things?
What I've been working on? Oh gosh, we do a lot of things throughout a week that the players work on themselves as a team. I mean, we've been really focusing on our defensive element of our game the last month. I think that's been okay. We fell apart in one quarter last week and really did some damage, and that was really it. So there's a lot of learnings out of that. Some that we can fix tomorrow, some that, some boys just need to get a bit bigger and stronger and get better over the course of their careers. So we understand all those issues and deal with them individually.
St Kilda, a bit like you guys, a young team sort of building and they have a crack.
Yeah.
What are you expecting from them?
They're probably more experienced at the ends of their grounds than us. That's probably the gap between the two teams, but otherwise we've got very similar lists, very young and inexperienced in a lot of areas, so we match up pretty evenly for the most part, so it should be a good battle.
Matty Leuenberger plays his 100th. Can you tell, can you give us your thoughts on him, the trials and tribulations he's had to go through to get there? It's been a long time to get to 100.
Yeah, probably a week this week. The injuries epitomises Matty's career a bit, doesn't it? It's been a long run for him to get to 100 games, but it's a great, I guess, a testament to his work and ability to stick with it. More good news, he's just had a boy, Luca, who's now officially part of our father-son radar now. He's only about 4 months old, but we can get him now, which is good. It's another good thing for that, but it's just terrific for Matty to play 100 games. It's a small milestone. Realistically, I know players want to play 200 plus, but it's just great for him, given his setbacks, to get there.
What does it take mentally to stick with it? I think it's his 9th season, missing multiple seasons, so many injuries. What does it take to persevere and see it out that long?
Well, that's the perseverance is the thing, particularly when you've had a lot of injuries in your career. It can be a frustrating time, and we're just hoping that his second 100 can fly by, because unfortunately his first 100 haven't. But let's hope now, this year he's been relatively injury free and he can have a big second part of his career.
He's off contract at the end of the year. Is he a priority? Is he a required player for next year and beyond?
Yeah, look, we don't really discuss the intricacies of our contractual workings, but he's like every player on our list. You play well, we want to retain you, and there's no difference. So, we don't want to talk about any of the details, but because that stuff will come out a bit later on.
Are you happy with how he's been travelling since he's come back into the senior side?
Yeah, definitely. The last sort of few weeks since he's been back in the team, he's been very good. He's been competing well, and challenges with him and Steph. We've got 2 genuine ruckmen, and neither of them are probably genuine forwards. So it's that sort of been, how do we balance the mix? And it's been an issue all year, but I think he's been competing high under the long ball for us as a forward and pinch hitting well in the ruck. So he keeps his spot and he's doing well.
Coaching's a cutthroat business, and I know you're focused on Brisbane, but do you feel for your coaching comrades when one goes down mid-season with Nick?
Yeah, I think the first thing we do as coaches is talk to our wives and say, oh, well, I think that's us one day, because that's just the facts and the realities of the industry. It's sad to see Mick's career over, and he's a terrific coach. He's a very good guy. I've had you know, when you speak to him at coaches' conferences, he's always a great person to speak to and talk, you know, to the game about. So it's sad to see him go, but you know, it gives life to, I guess, another coach, or whether it be a young coach out there or somebody else, and the wheel keeps turning. I mean, that's just what life's about, isn't it?
Do you think sometimes coaches too quickly blamed for situations in clubs and the way the competition is now with so many teams?
I don't think you'll ever find a coach that doesn't say the buck stops with them, but the size of organisations now, it's, when I first started, Robert Walls didn't have an assistant. So yeah, the buck pretty much stops with you when you're the only person. There's list management through to coaching and all sorts of areas that need to be looked at internally, but I guess externally we only ever look at the coach still as an industry. But as I said, I don't think you'll ever, you know, see a coach that says that, you know, the buck doesn't stop with him.